Hi and welcome to this Key Learning Initiative video. Today's topic is linear equations working with brackets. So when I do linear equations, I use 7 steps to solve them. All 7 can be found in the first comment below. Today, however, I'm only using step 2 to step 7. Okay, so let's look at our steps. Step 2, if there are brackets, use the distributive law to eliminate them. Step 3, simplify both sides if possible. Step 4, choose which side the variable terms are going on and which side the constant terms are going on. Step 5, by adding or subtracting, move all the variables terms to a chosen side. Step 6, by adding or subtracting, move all the constant terms to the no variable side or the other side. And then step 7, by dividing by the coefficient of the variable, get it by itself. Let's look at some examples using our rules. Example 1. 3 into the bracket 2x plus 1 equals 4x minus 7. Let's look at our rules or our steps. Step 2, if there are brackets, use the distributive law to eliminate them. So there are brackets on our left hand side, and what we need to do is use the distributive law to get rid of them or eliminate them. So 3 times 2x and then your 3 times plus 1. So your first one, 3 times 2x. 3 times 2 is 6, and then x. Now we move on. 3 times plus 1 is plus 3. And that equals 4x minus 7. There's no brackets there. Step 2, done. Step 3, simplify both sides if possible. Now if we look at our equation, both sides are simplified. 6x plus 3, they're different terms, and 4x minus 7 are different terms, so there's nothing to simplify. Step 3 is sorted. Step 4, choose which side the variable terms are going on and which side the constant terms are going on. Let's have a look. Our coefficient on the left hand side is 6. The 6 is in front of the x. On the right hand side, our coefficient of x is 4. 6 is greater than 4, and so what we do is we're going to choose our variables on the left hand side and our constants on the right hand side. If you don't understand why I've done this, please go and watch my 4th video in this series, and that will explain it to you. Alright, step 4, done. Step 5, by adding or subtracting, move all the variable terms to the chosen side. And so what we need to do is move my 4x to the left. Now we're adding or subtracting. So the opposite of 4x, we have to take it away. And so we subtract 4x from both sides. So 6x minus 4x gives me 2x. Then I have plus 3. That equals, on my right hand side, 4x minus 4x disappears. And then I've just got negative 7. So now I've finished step 5. Step 6. By adding or subtracting, move all the constant terms to the no variable side. And so what I need to do is get that plus 3 on the left hand side to the right hand side. By adding or subtracting, so I need to get rid of the plus 3. I subtract 3 from both sides. 2x just stays the same. Plus 3 minus 3 is 0 equals, and negative 7 minus 3 gives me negative 10. And that is step 6, done. Our last step, step 7, by dividing by the coefficient of the variable, get it by itself. What we have to do is divide by the number in front of x. In our example here, we have to divide by 2 because 2 is in front of x. So 2x divided by 2 gives me x, and that equals Negative 10 divided by 2 gives me negative 5. And that is step 7 done, which means that our answer is x equals negative 5. Let's have a look at example 2. 2 into the bracket of x plus 3 minus, open bracket, 4x minus 2, close brackets, equals 0. Alright, let's look at our first few steps. Step 2. If there are brackets, use the distributive law to eliminate them. We've got 2 sets of brackets here. Let's start on the first set. We have to distribute my 2 into the bracket. So 2 times x is 2x. Then I have 2 times plus 3 is plus 6. First bracket done. Now moving on to the second bracket. I need to distribute that negative into my bracket. Let's have a look. Negative times 4x will just give me negative 4x. Moving on to the second term in the bracket, and negative times negative 2, a negative and a negative will give me a positive 2. And that all equals 0. Step 2 is now finished. Step 3 says simplify both sides if possible. So my left hand side there's work to do. On the right hand side there's nothing to do really. Let's group our like terms. The first set is my 2x and my minus 4x. The second set is my plus 6 and my plus 2. Let's work with those. The yellow ones, the x's first. 2x minus 4x gives me minus 2x. Plus 6 plus 2 gives me plus 8. And that equals 0. Step 3 is now done. Step 4. Choose which side the variable terms are going on and which side the constant terms are going on. Now in the equation we've got left here, minus 2x plus 8 equals 0. It doesn't really matter which side you choose. For our example, however, I'm going to choose my variables on the left and my constants on the right. If you did it the other way, you will get the same answer, so don't stress. And that's step 4. Done. Step 5. By adding or subtracting, move all the variable terms to a chosen side. What a pleasure. Our variables are already there, so we don't have to do it, or step 5 is already sorted. Step 6. By adding or subtracting, move all the constant terms to the no variable side. Here we've got work to do. I have to get my plus 8 to the constant side. Now by adding or subtracting, and so what I have to do to get rid of a plus 8, I subtract 8 from both sides. That leaves me on the left hand side with just minus 2x. 8 minus 8 disappears, and that equals 0 minus 8, which is minus 8. And that is step 6. Done. Step 7. By dividing by the coefficient of the variable, get it by itself. So here I look, what is in front of my x? It's a negative 2, and so I divide both sides by negative 2. I put the negative 2 in brackets. It just means that we don't have two signs next to each other. So negative 2 divided by negative 2 just gives me x, and that equals negative 8 divided by negative 2, 4. And that means step 7 is complete, and that means my final answer is x equals 4. This concludes our video. Thank you for watching Key Learning Initiatives video on linear equations and working with brackets. Please like and share so that more and more people can watch them.